Hello guys and welcome back. So now let's go ahead and just try to add a few more hair strands that we think may be able to help with the hair. Um, since like in the front we can add an extra hair strand to help form some of the detailed hair shapes in the front. Like here in the reference, I see like he actually have this hair strand that drips down and kind of like curling in front of the eye, right? We wanted to have that effect over here. Okay, and maybe just another one to also support it. Okay, so what I can do here is I can go maybe maybe we can do this. Let me grab this line here. Okay, and then we can do a modify, convert polygon edge to curve to have a curve here. Okay, so that curve, I'm gonna go to the bonus tool and then modeling. I can convert ribbon, convert to ribbon mesh. Yeah, that's gonna give me a ribbon. And then immediately go to the UVs. I'm gonna change that ribbon UV to be taking care, to be using the, go to the scale, to be using the last guy here. Okay. And then also we're gonna give it our hair material. Okay. This is just one line here. Alright. Now to make this line looks bigger, we can go change the UV here. Okay, what we can do is we can shrink it in. So it's reading that line. It's reading a bigger line basically. Okay, and then just to be able to get better quality, we need to subdivide it more. The subdivision really determines the quality or the smoothness of this line. But be aware of the performance hit. So there's just something you can't do, right? If you change the division. Oh, actually, when you do that, your UV will actually mess up. So you probably need to do that before you you move the UV. No problem. I can grab the UV and fix them real quick. So I'm gonna grab all the UVs, okay, and do a cut. And then grab all the UVs again and go for modify, and there's a unitize, and then go to edge mode, grab all the edge and do another movement so, and then I can select these guys and just rotate 90 degrees. You can also do a layout and go to the layout settings. We can lay it out in a non-uniform scale. We should use default settings, right, and the non-uniform scale, and apply. So layout again back to this stage. This is basically what we were having earlier, and then you go for that 0.125 scale, and you can go back here. You can see this is a much smoother line, so your division will determine the quality. So if you want to create some really smooth line, you do have to go through this process. Let me minimal stretch this guy to the curve, so it's hidden in there, and we have a shape now, and we can go ahead and start sculpting to change it. Okay. Okay, just one more line. Or if we don't like it, we can also choose like the second tile. See what that gave us. Okay. Alright, we can change orientation. We can change also the, let's see, I think we can change the width a bit more to make it go wider. Okay, and maybe the orientation is flipped. Let me flip back, and then we can change the curvature to give it some arc. So go to sculpting tool again, and then grab and just start dragging. Okay, now you can again, like what I said earlier, the best way is you I can do taper here actually. The best way is you place those cards one by one, like what I'm doing here. doesn't give you a much higher quality, even though it's slower and painful. It's really painful to place card one by one instead of using Xgen, but it doesn't give you the best quality. Okay, so if you want to have that very good layering effect and you want to save performance, you want to have lesser hair cards, place them one by one will give you the best control of every individual hair cards and to get that best quality. Okay, let me check this guy. Okay, also performance wise, for some of the game engine, the transparency is heavy almost for anything, right? For any render package. So if you could, you can save up some of the performance by cutting out the area that it does have transparency, like here on this guy, for example. Like a lot of space here are transparency. So if you can go use multi-cut tool to cut out those transparent areas, it would actually performs a little bit better. This may vary from engine to engine, so if it doesn't make that much of a difference, you probably don't want to do this because it's also an elaborate work. Okay, but again, it's up to you. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna do a smooth to get a better UV, and then I can start deleting. Now maybe I need a line here. Yeah, it's really hard to get that smooth arc. Let me try to do this. I'm gonna go to edge mode, then go for cut. Right, just redo that process I did with that new hair. Do a unitize. Okay, and then merge all the ones together, do a layout. Okay, I'm gonna rotate it 90 degrees. Go to the UV toolkit. Maybe I'm selecting the wrong, or I'm actually doing fine. I think I'm doing fine. Okay. Now we can drag this guy and read it, read a different hair if we wanted to do that. Okay, so it does take some effort to get better results. Like you have to really carefully control the hair cards, control their shape, control their orientation, and control their division and UV. Okay, so gradually after many hours of tweaking, you should be able to get a pretty decent result. Okay, so here I think things I need to tweak is maybe the orientation of some of the guys to make them facing outwards more instead of facing sideways. Okay, that would help. So these guys can also use some help. Change the orient to make them orient this way more. Okay. Alright, cool. So again, time is not enough for me to demo all the processes, but you kind of see the workflow already, so I don't think you need to see me do everything. Right, so smooth this guy. Okay, and then I can go ahead and delete those two loops, and then maybe get rid of that, and that, and that, that, and that, and that. Okay. Alright. So yeah, in the next video we can talk about maybe how do we bring this into game engine, right? That's gonna be one thing you guys are probably wondering. So we can do that next, just to make this entire video tutorial complete. Okay, cool. See you next time.